I'm sorry if I repeat a few things. I know that we've had some people come in and some people come out, and I want to thank everybody for attending. This forum is co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters and the Women for Wise Growth, and we appreciate your attendance. We've already done the pledge, so I'm going to move on to that. This is being recorded by TDC Entertainment and will be available for citizens to hear on our website, lwv.alachua.org, and there's literature for the League on the table, so you can get all your friends and relatives who weren't able to be here today to listen to it. The moderator for each panel will explain the rules of the forum that were already sent to each participant. These are the standard rules used by our League for all forums. The questions were written by members of the League as well as for Women for Wise Growth. We will take written audience questions. Reba, our League member, is right over there. She has index cards and pens. Just raise your hand, and you can get something to write with, and then give her the question. We will only use the audience questions as time permits, and if they're not already one that we've already put in to be asked. Using the audience questions are totally at the discretion of the League. We also ask, the media is here and has done some taping and audio, but as was said to each of the participants, we do ask that no one else do any audio or video for personal use or for the candidates' campaigns. So we ask you not to do that, please. Tomorrow is the last day to register, February 14th. Hopefully everybody here is a registered voter. This is a good time now to turn off your cell phones or put them on vibrate, and so that your ring does not show up in the middle of the recording. Okay, and with that, we are right on time, and our moderator, Harvey Goldstein, will take it from here.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. I am the moderator for the Gainesville City Commission District 3 race. There are 5 candidates for this position. If you look at in front of you, though, there's only 4 who have appeared here this afternoon, and they are Ozzy Angulo, is that right? Yes, sir. Susan Bottcher, Jimmy Harnsberger, and Rob Zeller. I have welcomed all of you, and I have talked to them about the ground rules. I'm going to briefly go through them for the audience and get confirmation from the panelists that they understand the rules. Each candidate will have 2 minutes. Following the opening statements, 2 minutes for an opening statement. Following the opening statements, I will read the questions prepared by the League of Women Voters and the Women for Wise Growth, and each candidate will have 1.5 minutes to answer. I will rotate the order in which the questions are asked. If time permits, we will take questions from the audience. At approximately 3:35, we will move on to closing statements, and each candidate will have 1 minute to make a closing statement. We have timers in the front row who will indicate how much time is remaining. So please keep an eye on them, and they will ring the bell. And so let's go to why we're here. Let's start off with the opening statements. Again, 2 minutes, and we'll start off at the other end of the table with Mr. Angulo. You may proceed.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. I'd like to take the League of Women Voters and everybody in attendance for hosting us today. My name is Ozzy Angulo. I'm running for City Commissioner District 3. I am a veteran of the United States Marine Corps and Army National Guard. I'm a local business owner here in Gainesville, and I've been in the restaurant business for the past 7 years before starting my cleaning service. District 3 faces a lot of the issues that we face as residents in the city, such as the Cabot Copper Superfund site, homelessness, and the possibility of consolidation of our law enforcement. Along with that, District 3 also faces the issues of deteriorating roads, unemployment, and an increase in property crimes to our residential neighborhoods, as well as a growing meth problem among our student apartments. And these are the issues that I want to address as the District 3 Commissioner. And I hope that today I can earn your support as we go forward to the March 15 elections. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Bottcher.
Susan Bottcher, candidate for District 3 City Commission. I've been in Gainesville for 35 years, came here from Fort Lauderdale to go to school, and like a lot of people, fell in love with the community and decided to stay. I worked for about 10 years in the insurance industry, first as a claims examiner and then as an underwriter. And after getting married, my husband and I decided to start a family right away, and I wanted to be an at-home mom. And I am fortunate that we have lived in the same neighborhood for 24 years, and this was one of those neighborhoods that's stable and safe. You know, we have good neighbors, and so neighborhood integrity is a very important part of my platform. My kids are now in their 20s, and so the fact that they want to stay in Gainesville brings to the forefront of my mind that jobs are going to be an important part of their lives. I think it's something that we are all looking forward to, some of the development that's going on downtown, because this will bring some more jobs. I think we're on a good track with that. And with the development, a lot of people immediately think, well, is this going to be at the expense of our natural environment? And I don't think so. I think that what makes Gainesville special, and the people who have been in leadership roles, both in the city and the county, they understand, along with the business community, that a degraded environment is bad for business. And so I think it's important to understand that as a city commissioner, I will do what I can to make sure that we protect what makes Gainesville special and unique. I have 30 seconds left, and so I think what I'll do is I'll turn it over to Jimmy. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Harnsberger. Oh, excuse me, Ms. Bottcher, Mr. Harnsberger.
Yeah, thank you very much. Jimmy Harnsberger. My wife and I moved to Gainesville to teach at the University of Florida 10 years ago, and 7 years ago we built our home and started sending our kids to J.J. Finley Elementary, a wonderful neighborhood school. But in addition to our work responsibilities, I've had this sort of other life, this kind of parallel life. And it started 6 months after we moved into our neighborhood. We had a drug house, a real out-of-control place that unfortunately received a special zoning dispensation from the city illegally. I organized my neighborhood. We appealed the decision to circuit court. And 2 years later, and $15,000 in legal expenses, we won and we cleaned up the place. After that, I decided I needed to be more involved in what my city commission was doing, what was going on in my community. So I began reading the city commission agendas that come out every 2 weeks. And when there were issues that were impacting any neighborhood in the city, I'd call people I knew there. We'd get together, we'd go down to City Hall, and we'd try or succeed in solving the problem. So for the past 5 years, I've been haunting the doors of City Hall, working hard for neighborhoods, and I believe I'd be more effective if I had a leadership role. And so I'm looking for your support in that today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Zeller.
Hello, I'm Rob Zeller. I grew up in Ohio and moved down here to get my degree in chemical engineering. And while I was down here doing that, I fell in love with Gainesville and decided to stay. Back then and currently even, there's not many jobs for engineers here, so I started my own business, which took a while to get off the ground. It didn't happen overnight. And I ended up finding a job as an environmental engineer, which I worked at for 3.5 years, till the business did take off. Since then, I've opened up 3 other businesses. I currently have 140 employees here in Gainesville. And I also have a wife, Ashley, who teaches 6th grade math at PK Young Elementary, or PK Young School. It's a K through 12, so it's not elementary. I also have a 1-year-old son, a 5-year-old daughter, and a 7-year-old son, and they go to Queen of Peace Academy here, just outside Gainesville in the county. Well, that's about it, and I'd just like to thank everybody for coming, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with each of you.
Thank you, Mr. Zeller. We will now move on to our prepared questions, and we will begin first with Ms. Bottcher. The first question: the county has put together a plan that would coordinate land development with bus rapid transit. Some have argued that the city of Gainesville should be doing more to encourage transit use and bus rapid transit in parts of the city that are not currently well served by transit. What steps, if any, should the city take with respect to providing better transit service throughout the community?
I think there have been some steps taken, and I know the BRT, the Bus Rapid Transit program, that they're in the process of studying, specifically which routes would best serve in Gainesville, inside the city limits. I think one of the biggest issues is the bus service that would go out to Santa Fe College. Both my children have been students out at Santa Fe, and as well as my nephew. And for them to get from where we live in Gainesville out to Santa Fe College, if they wanted to take a bus, it would probably take them about an hour and a half and 2 or 3 transfers. So the fact that we are moving forward, and Santa Fe College is working on this to improve that particular leg of the bus system is very important. I think that this is something the city should help promote.
Thank you. Mr. Harnsberger.
Yes, I support many alternatives to automobile use, including something like a bus rapid transit system. I think the question was, how do we support it? These are difficult budget times, so we'd probably be looking for federal grants as sources for service expansion. I do think we need to be careful about where we plot these routes. We all know that there's interest in extending this service out well beyond the city limits to facilitate some intensive new developments west of I-75. I think we need to be very careful about that. It seems to me that would be at odds with some of our work in promoting business within the city and in redeveloping the downtown. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Zeller.
Rob Zeller. Bus rapid transit is going to be fairly expensive, and currently RTS is only heavily utilized in the student areas, so I would have to agree with Ms. Bottcher that, to Santa Fe, that would probably be a good choice because students do opt for that type of transportation. But in other areas around the city, the buses aren't utilized. I believe the number is average ridership is 7 people per bus. So I'm not sure bus rapid transit would work a lot of places in town. And due to the cost, we're already spending a lot of money and losing a lot of money on the buses as is. So I think we need to be more targeted, and maybe instead of going that route, routes that aren't being heavily used, maybe get smaller buses that burn less fuel and pollute less, and just be more targeted at what we're doing with that, and make sure we don't put bus rapid transit in places where it's not going to be utilized. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll start with Mr. Harnsberger. Oh, excuse me, Ozzy.
No, it's all right. I was kind of hoping to move on to the next question. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm actually very well aware of the problems we have with RTS, and mainly because I've been an avid rider of it as much as I can, and I know that aside from Santa Fe, a lot of our outlying communities are also struggling to get a good, adequate transit system. It's something that the city of Gainesville needs to collaborate with our county commissioners. And I know just from speaking with some of the county commissioners, this is something that they want to move forward on. And it's, like I said, we have neighborhoods along RTS Route 75, like Majestic Oaks, and a lot of those communities there don't get adequate service. One of the plans I want to propose with RTS leadership and Public Works and the City Commission is see if we can come up with a plan where we can figure out how much money we need to provide better services to these outlying areas, and then offer that as a way of a year-round fare for our Santa Fe students and other students that don't have the ability to pay out of their student fees currently. But I know there are plenty of people that would love to pay one fee and just be able to ride as often as possible. So we definitely need to start with having a discussion with all the parties involved and move forward with that. Thank you.